I wonder how you're thinking about sort of the cyclical friction we keep hearing about regarding supply chain and capacity increases versus the more secular growth prospects in all kinds of industries right now.
That's a very good question. I remember, to preface my comments, in 2000, we had this boom in semiconductors that was never going to end. And then it ended abruptly in 2001. The semiconductor SOX index dropped to a low, and it took 17 years to recover. That's going to happen perhaps late this year. We've been growing at 3.5% semis on the average, and in 2021, because of all the stuff you've been hearing about, semis grew 13%. And now, as I look at the analysts whose stuff I read, I see forecasts that go from plus 8% growth in 2022, which is down from 13 in 2021, all the way down to minus 6% for some of the analysts who are the old weathered ones who've been through cycles in semis. So I think the party is it's not coming to an end, but people need to be careful about putting a bunch of money in semis and forgetting it.
Yeah, we hear about, I mean, when I think about hotels, I think about airlines, industries that are capital intensive where the cycles are very hard to read and it's easy to overbuild. Are we overbuilding in capacity right now? Is that what it's about? And then we would see the fallout in pricing, or is it something else?
No, we're not. A great question. We're not going to overbuild in capacity. The semi guys are smart. They're some of the smartest CEOs in the world. And while the government's going, oh my God, let's give them $20 more billion to build as many plants as we can. And we see all this kind of BS coming out of Washington. The semi guys know that they have to fight NIMBY wars to get a plant in. They have to go through 2 years of work to get it built and get the equipment and get it up. So they're building what they need according to what they think from their internal projections, which are accurate, not government propaganda. So no, we're not going to overbuild, but we're going to build a lot because chips are more important. We have a lot more demand for chips. Automotive, everybody knows the story of the 100 chips in every car. So we're going to build, Intel's got a $95 billion capital budget. TSMC has got 105 and Samsung's got 200. So the big three are going to put big plants in the ground. We're also going to modify deployment, put more in the U.S. here, so we don't have to worry the way we did during this last go-round.
TJ, in terms of the auto industry in particular, the chip shortage has cost about $210 billion in lost revenue, according to AlixPartners. Do you think that the supply chain bottlenecks specifically for the auto industry have been worked out at this point in time?
Yes and no. There are short-term workouts, which means make more of what you got. And then there are long-term workouts, which there are two forms on both sides of the fence. One is the car guys need to wake up to start using modern chips. They haven't done that. And two is the semi guys have to work better to keep the automotive supply. So right now, what started being short in the car industry was 28 nanometer, and that was your curved dashboard with all the gauges being, views on a screen. And then we had things getting bad on the small chips. We're talking 1,000, 2,000 chips that might run your window, for example, in your car. So we go back and forth on what is short, and you can't really talk about automotive. So what the automotive guys need to do is stop using old chips. They remind me of the military, where nothing ever flies in an airplane that's not already 10 years old. And that's just the way it works. Their pulse cycle is so long. Automotive is second worst to that. They've got to get better. Pat Gelsinger of Intel told them at a conference a few months ago, he said, look, we've got all the 16 nanometer capacity, which is way beyond what they need for most applications in cars you want. So move to it. So people start designing chips where the capacity is available. It's a little bit of a shame with capacity being so expensive that you have some areas of capacity, 60 nanometers, looking for customers, and some areas shutting down plants because of a lack of supply.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.